They burn me for Lagos. We live a life for hustle, but smile, man, despite the troubles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to RambleNot. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about monogamy, religion. Is it biblical? Is it Western adoption? And we're going to be talking about everything associated with that. And so I welcome my industrious panel, some for and some against polygamy. So who wants to go first with their points, for or against?
Ladies first. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I can't say if I should say I'm for or I'm against, but if you ask me that which is a lesser evil, if I'm going to start from there, personally for me, I would not tolerate polygamy. Unfortunately, I'm from a polygamous family, but that's not my choice. But by choice, which is what I have in hand, I can manage to give my man 10 concubines, but I want to be the only one in the house. So I am against polygamy.
I agree. If I'm going to be wife number one,
exactly.
The head wife, the chief wife,
the controller,
the one controlling
the
all
commander-in-chief.
When he go to wife 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's okay for me.
Congratulations.
Home, right?
I don't even want to know. If you like, it should not come back home. We just know that this is the home and this is the commander-in-chief.
As long as we have the credit cards and the checkbook,
you get it.
It's okay.
But that's if you have a very big house, like you have a mansion. You know, you have a house that has 10 bedrooms.
It appears you did not hear me clearly.
Home?
You did not hear me clearly.
Okay,
it's okay to have 10 concubines.
Everybody
if we have 20
room.
rooms,
okay,
it is none of their businesses.
Oh, okay.
They can use other places. But those 20 rooms,
okay.
I am the commander-in-chief. It is a territory.
Oh, you mean just one location for you alone?
Yeah, they can go in the sugarcane
exactly.
field, the rice
anywhere
field,
they like.
Catfish farm.
Okay.
Polygamy is a no-no for me. Polygamy
Everybody needs to know their place and their ranking.
I'll simply take myself out of the equation.
Okay.
That's just
let's break it down a little bit.
Okay.
Now, we should be able to have a reference point. So, if we should start from a religious, perspective.
Which religion?
Christianity.
Okay.
Christianity. If we should look at it from a biblical angle, there is no single verse on the Bible where the Bible kick against polygamy.
Well, it's very clear.
Calm down.
That you must leave your parents' house and go to your wife's house. It was not plural.
Yeah.
And God is not a God of confusion.
Yeah.
Any man that has 5 or 6 women, that's confusion.
Okay. Now, that's why I say we should calm down. Let's not rush. Let's not rush this.
Okay.
We have someone like David. We have someone like Abraham, which we call the father of all generations.
And Solomon.
And these were kings with lots of wealth.
No, but Abraham is not king. Point of correction.
And Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the reason why Christianity encourages polygamy is for 2 reasons. The introduction of the New Testament started with Elizabeth and Zachariah, Joseph and Mary, which the Bible recorded that they were only married to just one wife each. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, Apostle Paul was giving an advice to the church. It's not like a command, it's not an order. He says if a man must be an elder, if a man must be a deacon in the church, he should be a husband of one wife. And now I think the reason for that is that when you have too many wives, there can be, drama and all that. So the church does not want in a situation whereby drama will come up because a man is an elder, the wife are doing one or two and all that. So that is why I'm still telling you that from a biblical angle, there is no single verse on the Bible where the Bible kick against polygamy, because there were a lot of polygamy in the Bible.
In the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Even in the New Testament, the Bible never kick against polygamy.
Okay.
The Bible Apostle Paul gave it as an advice.
Yeah.
And say if a man must be an elder. So meaning that's strictly okay for elders, for those who hold offices in the church. Now, I think that advice is good, because to me, if there is even a half woman, I would prefer her, because even one is,
whole drama.
you understand?
Well,
Not to talk of.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
talking
so-
about religion,
yeah.
if we were to be fair,
Okay.
we should talk about religion in general, at least the major religions.
Okay,
Even
which
if
are
we
the
can't
two?
talk about-
Yeah, so
We
let's
can
talk
talk
about
about
Islam.
Islam allow up to 4.
Islam
yes.
does not just say I allow you; they put a clause.
And
Okay.
there's a-
You can love
there's
them equally.
requirements.
Oh yes.
Is it
and that's
possible
not
to
hard.
love them equally?
Equally.
Equally is the clause.
Okay. You cannot measure love, can you?
Yes, you
The
can.
same reason why you
how
can't know
would
if it
you?
is equal or not, because you cannot measure love.
So
Because
it is
equal is
just gonna
different.
be what you choose.
Okay.
You can like this one for cooking, you can like this one for
Yeah.
bed,
Go to
you
the
can like this
restaurant
one
and buy
for
food
using.
from the
Okay.
cooking wife.
That
instead
coach,
of bringing
that,
it
you
home.
see the
Let me
problem.
weigh
That's
in.
cultural
Let me weigh
elevation.
in a
That's not
little
that is not
Let
an
me
African
weigh in a
culture.
little bit.
Okay.
So, you know, you see, this is the problem. In biblical days, the role of woman, the skills of woman, the equity of woman was much different. Even hear how you talk. This one can cook, this one can do this,
Imagine.
this can do that. Women are whole
How
people
selfish.
now. Okay? We are.
Hope
we
you
are-
know how to cook.
I
Because
can cook very well.
Okay.
I can cook Nigerian.
but you don't have to shake body to show that you can cook, because when you shake body it means
I have no
you
owner.
are passing another message.
No, when you shake body, that is your own.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I say
Nanda.
showing body. No, I don't want to own you. I already own someone.
Can
Okay.
you let me make one point?
Okay.
Yeah.
You are already analyzing if she can cook, if she can.
No, that's not what I said.
Let
Point
me
of correction.
Let me
Point
land.
of correction. Point
Let
of
me
correction.
land.
Okay, land. I say you can love people for different reasons.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
this
saying it in
say-
a different way.
this-
Okay, let me land. What I'm trying to say is that, are you saying that it would be fair for you as a husband, then your wife suddenly say, oh, you don't have enough money, you cannot buy me designers, I need to marry another husband.
Another man.
Is that fair?
Is it fair?
Is it okay?
okay, so
Life is
Can
never
we do
fair.
that?
And okay, you want to say something?
Okay,
Let's
so for me, when it comes to you saying, would you go marry another man? Can a woman marry 2 husbands
Yes.
Yes.
and she would effectively love them?
Yes.
What is the,
Yes.
what does effectively mean, if you can interpret
So I'm
that?
asking you because earlier you also said that can you equally love 2 women?
Yes.
So can you in the same way love 2 men?
I'm still against the fact that
That is what I'm
a man
saying.
should marry 2 wives. I'm just saying,
So-
if he's going to base it on this person might be able to cook better, this person might be a better homemaker, or this
Okay.
person might be industrious in some
Okay.
other way, then we should be looking at it on the other side. Again, for women,
Okay.
they can also evaluate that this person can meet my sexual needs and this person can meet my financial needs, and
Okay.
then, you know, take it on from there.
Let's get
Different
back
strokes for
to
different
nature and go in the wild. Okay.
Okay.
Men are hunters. Men are providers. Okay. Women are nurturers. There is no limit to the amount of nurturers, no people that women can nurture. So, in a marriage, one of the the primary roles of a woman is to nurture a man. Just the way she can have 50 children and nurture, she can nurture 50 men. Now, can a man provide and
same
protect
thing.
50 women? It becomes a little different.
It's not
So you know what? So
possible.
this is why we're talking about the difference between, you know, polygamy and polyandry. I think just because of the way women are wired, it's possible for us to love and nurture and care for multiple men.
Yes.
I actually don't think it's possible for the average man to
Okay.
adequately provide
Absolutely.
and protect
Absolutely.
many wives. It's just not
Absolutely.
possible. How are you
Well,
going to protect
King
me
Solomon
and
did that.
Dorothy and Tosin at the same time?
King Solomon did that effectively.
Okay.
He was not the average
Okay,
man.
okay. Let me.
And
Why
King
are you
Solomon,
using the average
and
man
King
as an
Solomon
example?
did not even do that effectively.
Oh,
Are
Why
you
do you
an
think
average
so?
woman?
No, King Solomon, you said it that King Solomon
Okay.
did it effectively.
Yeah.
What is your definition of what he did that makes it effective?
Well, in this context, King Solomon is a man, and we're talking about a man. Whether it's average, we don't care now. For all I care to know is it is recorded he had 300 wives.
Because he
No,
had them
No,
does not mean that he
700
treated
wives.
them
Okay,
right.
okay.
yeah, three, now girlfriend.
No,
Because
he
concubine
had
is-
them. It's two
is-
different
I know,
That
things.
is even higher than girlfriend, I hope you know.
It's
It is what
two
you now
different-
call side chicks today. Yes.
It's two different things.
Okay.
It's one thing to have them. We learned in the
Okay.
Bible that King Solomon had them.
Okay.
But was there an interview with those women to say that, are you treated
they
right?
satisfied?
Are they satisfied in the home?
Okay.
They will go.
That's what
If
I'm
they are
talking
not
about.
satisfied, they will
And
go.
In those days, they
Listen.
could not go.
Okay.
Side chicks in the biblical days knew their place. side chicks
Okay.
nowadays do not know their
Exactly.
How do you? Okay. How do you know that? Do you have the experience
I have the experience of being married and divorced twice. I have all the experience.
as a side chick?
I'm a side chick.
As
I'm
a
dealing
married
with
woman.
side chicks. I'm talking to friends who are side chicks. Dealing with side chicks.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Okay, but there's something you need
Side chick
to
spectrum
there's
will be
something
better.
you need to understand. Let's hold on. There's something you need to understand.
Okay.
A man can go out and
Said
mess
you
with a
look at
woman
me.
and come back and behave very nice. But once a woman go out and messes up with a man, she becomes a revolt.
What do you mean?
Yeah, she revolts when she get home.
See?
Like, yeah, so that's
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 what it is.
yeah, I know.
Let's take
They
this thing to
revolt.
another level.
Okay,
Let's focus on the African perspective.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like we're doing more of the religious perspective, and we can never, because the Bible was there before we were all born, like before we all came to life. So let's look at it from the African context, and say our views. Like personally, I used my family as an example.
Okay.
My father is a polygamist, and to the best of my knowledge, I don't remember him having to take permission from one woman before he marries the other woman. If he wants, and the same way if he wants to divorce them, he goes to court, straight to court. I know they do again, and that's it. He doesn't banter. It's that kind of person. But I feel like it's an ego thing. I feel like he's just been the African man. In those days, some of our parents or grandparents, they didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
They were given.
Exactly.
That's what I see from the African side of it. But we're still Africans, and in this age and time, I won't be given to somebody just because, this is the right person for you. That doesn't make me less of African.
And those marriages even last than the one you give yourself to these days.
Because
you give
they
yourself to
suffered
and you
in
still
silence.
run away.
Because our
you do it by
parents
yourself and still run away by
they
yourself.
suffered in silence. They suffered for the...
Oyo, how come the women of these days, nobody is forcing them into marriage? They choose the man by themselves and they still walk away.
That is because in those days you dare not question your parents. You stay in there, you suffer for the kids, you say, I'm here because of my children. That's what they say. Our mothers didn't like it if they had a way. And if you would also remember that many of them don't work.
Yes.
Their whole life is dependent on this husband.
They had no choice.
That will lead to another topic, cultural alienation, because we just look at American culture and copy it. We just copy everything and it doesn't work. And that's why I keep telling people, look at an average white man. Out of every 10 white men you see, they have a wife. 7 out of 10.
But that doesn't rule out the fact that
This is my expertise.
Exactly. Listen. 7 out of 10 are married. If you see the black, I'm not talking about the African black.
Yeah.
The black here, maybe 3 or 2 out of 10 are married. So my question is, if what these white people are telling you, you have to do this to your husband, you don't have to take this from your husband. If they are practicing that, how come they are married?
Yeah.
But who said that what we are taking is from white people?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not equity. It's cultural alienation.
No,
it's
I don't
cultural
believe
alienation.
that. Equity is not cultural alienation. What you are speaking of is very ethnocentric.
Yeah.
You think that somehow blackness and a male perspective and the patriarchy go hand in hand. That is not correct. Women are equal. We are not the same as men. We are not the best at the same things, but we still deserve equity and to be treated fairly. So let's talk about white men. You want to talk about white men? I have a lot of experience in that. Okay, so let's look at the white men who are married. They may have, as you say, concubines and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really admire about white men, you know what they do? After they've had children with their first wife, you know what they have? A vasectomy, right?
Yeah.
No matter how many concubines that come after the divorce or
Children cannot be
infidelity,
flying
the
everywhere.
wealth and the security of those children and that primary wife come first. They pay her alimony. Even if they go and marry again, they're dating again, they make sure that wife is taken care of. Can we compare that to African men in Africa and out of Africa? They walk away and they forget their responsibility as men.
And that being said, if we're comparing Africans to Americans, from the little I've seen, I do know that if an American woman is done, there's nothing anybody can do.
Okay.
If she's going to be done based on cheating, regardless of anything, African women that you're talking about that we choose for ourselves and we still live, we take a lot of rubbish.
I don't accept that though.
We take a lot of rubbish and we still soak it up. But you see, the moment they find that you're cheating, because I think that we as the current women of nowadays, we still accept some of the things that our mothers used to take in those days. But whites, they don't believe in you have to be messing around. You can do it, but they're not aware of it.
Okay, but let me put it to you.
And
you know, Africans,
hold on. They must not smell it.
Hold on.
It's not balanced that way though. Because if you ask me, I would tell you that women in this present day actually do not accept some things because there's this new thing that you are equal to the man.
What is new about equality?
Exactly.
That is new. That has not always been there. Okay, if you say in this perspective of Africa, that has not always been there.
Exactly. That has not always been there in the perspective of Africa.
Even in the Americas,
but even in
women didn't start voting until a certain time in America. Women didn't start voting from the word go. They got the right to vote after a while.
So that's just making. God has already put this little difference.
All right. For the men on the panel, do you think that women are second-class citizens to men and they deserve less out of life? I need you to answer this question before we continue.
Yeah, because you brought it up.
Practically,
yes.
I would say no.
Okay.
Culturally, I would say yes. Because even when God was going to make creation, He made a man first. Then He took out of the man. He didn't, he was smart about it.
He took out of the man and said, help me.
That's why He didn't take two. He didn't take two. Only one. We're having this heat.
So that is there's a team leader and assistant team leader.
But if the team leader
is
not, if the team leader is not meeting performance metrics, what happens is he gets fired from the job.
So that is where it comes from.
And another one that will fire again. Then they keep firing.
Yeah. It is assistant and not deputy.
Okay.
That's why it is the assistant and not deputy.
Who define that?
Okay. Are you a married man, sir?
I made you an helper.
Okay, this
So
is
helper
fine.
does not necessarily mean
It's okay.
assistant.
It's
It could be
okay,
deputy.
It's okay to be helper.
Deputy is the person that can just take
Sheriff.
up the roles.
Yes, because many times you men fail and the deputy takes it.
Sheriff.
When the women come up.
Sheriff.
Many
Sheriff, are you married?
Fewer times.
Well, if we continue this topic, there's going to be a lot of banter here and there, and we can never agree because we definitely have different opinions regarding this topic. But I would like us to just reach a conclusion here based on our different views and different perspectives. So all that being said, I said something at the beginning of this whole thing, and my take on this is polygamy appears, especially in Africa, to have come to stay. There's nothing we can do about it. But most of us that have the privileges to have, interacted with advanced countries, we can see things in another light, and then we can take our decisions from there. For me, personally, I would rather have an adulterer as long as I don't smell it. I do not want somebody else in my house because I don't want children everywhere. I don't want sleeping without closing my eyes. And whether or not I want an adulterer, if I have a man who's going to be an adulterer, it would definitely be without even considering whether I'm aware of or whether I'm interested or not. Mine is be respectful enough to not make it, don't rub it all over. Because if you do that, I can decide to also take the lead and do the same thing. That's my take on it. So I don't know if anyone else has something to say. What do you think?
My own closing would be, in the African's perspective, polygamy is celebrated. In core deep African culture, even in the National Assembly of Nigeria, you saw one of the honorables came and, he made it very clear that he had 3 wives, he had 28 children, and he wants to make them 30, Wow. So, if you ask me, it is all dependent on what you want as an individual, what your threshold is, what you think you can manage, what you think, if I do it, will I be able to have peace of mind? Because, man, if you have 1 woman, it's more trouble. If you have 2 troubles. 3, just keep multiplying. So there's nothing that says you're going to be entirely free from all the chaos. But however, going by that, I would say, if you are strong, if you can do it, hey, get 10 wives.
Make sure the first one.
If you enjoy one, you're gonna enjoy 10.
Okay, thank you for the perspective. So for me, my mantra is always drink water and mind your business. From my personal perspective, I can go either way. But here's the thing. A polygamous relationship works for me, but in that case, the man must be solely responsible for providing and protecting. If you want multiple wives, multiple women, that's fine. I will be a helpless maiden. Hey, I cannot do anything. Hey, I cannot even do bank transactions by myself. It's fine, okay? But if you want me to be a contributor to our lifestyle, to our family, and developing our legacy and things like that, you know, I'm not going to tolerate more than one wife. So I can go either way. But what I have a problem with is, you know, a man or woman who think that it's okay to have multiple wives or relationships and not meeting the needs of any of their partners, right? Yeah. I can't speak for the average woman. I can speak for me. It's barely possible for one man to meet all my needs, emotionally, financially, sexually, spiritually, and otherwise. And regardless of the type of relationship, whether it's monogamous or poly, if you cannot meet my needs, you are not the right partner for me. So that's the last that I have to say about that. The relationship that you're in needs to be able to meet your needs. If you have no needs, that's okay. Go for it. Poly is it. If you have needs, then you need to think wisely. Let's talk about polyandry. So, you know, we're talking about one woman having multiple husbands or partners. I actually think that this is much more feasible than a man having multiple women, just because of the way women are wired. And we're talking about nature and nurture, right? We are nurturers. We're used to having broad families, right? We are mothers to the children in our family and the wider community. It's possible for us to nurture more than one man. As they say in my culture, cutlass don't leave mark in water. So it's also possible to have more than one man in any given night. We don't have a threshold like men. On the other side, you know, I think men have limitations. So I am all for polyandry as long as it's meeting everyone's needs.
Okay. Finally, I would say I might not be a practitioner of polygamy, but I'm not against it because it's a cultural thing. It was there before we were born. And when we talk about polygamy or monogamy. Monogamy is not a scriptural thing, it is a Western thing. And the issue is this: the rate at which the culture of Africa wears away is so fast, it's supersonic. If you look at the Indians, for example, look at the Chinese, for example, they come here, the woman works, some of them make up to $180,000 to $200,000 a year, just like the man. Some of them, you see, they're using one car, they drive one car, they are cool, they don't have problem. A Western African can do that. Let's just say that. Even the Eastern Africa, they are still a little bit okay. West Africa cannot tolerate that. So cultural alienation is a big issue. Once, if you look at the rates at which African men are killing their wives in the US, it's threatening, it shouldn't happen. But in as much as I feel no man, no matter what, should take the life of his wife, instead walk away, I believe for a man to go as far as taking the life of a woman, the frustration must be something else. So the level at which our culture is wearing away is problematic, because there's a UN think tank that says in the next 10 years, Southern Nigeria will lose up to 10 languages. More than 10 languages will naturally disappear. Look at the Hispanic community, for example. Almost every Hispanic kid you see, they speak Spanish. Yeah. They interpret for their dad in store. It's very rare to see an African child that speaks their mother language. They all speak English. So to touch on polyandry, I'm not going to say I'm against it. If the cultures allows it, it's cool. That's my submission. Thank you.
We live a life for hustle, but smile, man, despite